Witam was ponownie z strony Halawander i gramy dalej w Fallout New Vegas. I chciałbym na początku właśnie, jak wcześniej wspomniałem, porozmawiać z tymi wszystkimi tutaj cyborgami, mogę powiedzieć roboty, aż trudno mi ich określić tak naprawdę. I mam nadzieję, że zdążę jeszcze porozmawiać z Lewem i będę mógł już jakoś przynajmniej zacząć chociaż trochę eksploracji. Porozmawiamy najpierw z Kleinem.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
To byłby zaszczyt móc posiąść część wiedzy, jaką dysponuje think tank.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
Wydajesz się tutaj rządzić, jesteś...
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
Kim jest Mobius?
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
A więc roboskorpiony wysyłają inteligencję z żywych stworzeń. Jak? Chemicznie?
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
Moment. Chcę się dowiedzieć czegoś o strefie zakazanej.
That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic.
Co to za miejsce?
This is the think tank, the nerve center of Big Mountain, the greatest research center known to man, and to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science, atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power.
Niektórzy nazywają to miejsce wielką pustką.
Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here.
Mam parę pytań o tę ekstrakcję mózgu, którą przeprowadziliście.
Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
Mówili, że mój mózg może być o Mobiusa.
Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear.
Mobius zaprogramował autodoktora, więc uważacie, że to on jest odpowiedzialny za to, co stało się z moimi organami.
Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto-doc is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well.
Co masz na myśli?
It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab.
Co miałeś na myśli, mówiąc o kodzie chirurgicznym autodoktora?
Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto-doc. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Ale po co Mobiusowi mój mózg?
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
Mechaniczne roboskorpiony żywią się inteligencją. Jesteście pewni?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Dlaczego czuję się tutaj tak pasywnie?
It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub.
Ale po co jest wam to antyagresywne oprogramowanie?
We had to take precautions after the last visitors.
Mogę na chwilę, ponieważ coś wydaje mi się, że dźwięk jest za głośno. Przynajmniej trochę. No, nie wiem, może przesadzam, ale ja jestem dość cicho.
They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight.
Kim oni byli?
Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains.
Co mi powiesz o tych pylonach?
Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros's notes and schematics.
To na razie tyle, dzięki.
Yes, a most goodbye.
A most goodbye. Poziom, faktycznie. Handel nam tu się nie za bardzo chyba przyda. Oj, trzeba maksymalnie, nie pamiętałem tego. To... O, trochę skradania się. Wiecie co? Medycynę na maksa. Handel niech będzie 90. Tu 5 niech będzie, tak. No, walka wręcz też nam się przyda. Okej, kastety, mamy kastety, więc świetnie. Zapisik, ponieważ mamy poziom ładny i porozmawiamy z resztą koleżków. A, zapomniałem, że tu możemy też uzupełniać chyba sobie różne rzeczy. Możesz mówić? Rozumiesz mnie? Twój moduł głosowy został uszkodzony. Podobno. W poprzednim ataku. To była kropka? To bardzo źle. Albo dobrze. A co to ma być? Chodzi mi co to ma być za dziwne kwestie, są strasznie dziwne tłumaczenie. Nie wiem, co ty mówisz. W ten sposób. Mogę zadać ci kilka pytań? Odnośnie twojego uszkodzenia modułu głosowego, możesz mi opowiedzieć o ataku? Nie dotarło to do mnie, może przez te uszkodzenia. Kim jesteś? Brzmi jak coś ważnego. Tak myślę. Wiesz coś na temat doktora Mobiusa albo strefy zakazanej? Dobrze, dobrze, nie chcę cię już niepokoić. Możesz mi opowiedzieć o tych technologiach, które chce zdobyć Klein? Przecież jakby coś cię strasznie poruszyło, albo jakby cię ktoś jakby cię ktoś przesączał? Coś w tym rodzaju. Dajesz taki we wzorach po 8 wzięte w nawias z określnikiem tonu na końcu. Cóż, po prostu w tej sekwencji da się wychwycić pewien rytm. Cóż, ogólnie życie składa się ze wzorów. Trzeba tylko pozwolić mózgowi je przetworzyć. Zgadzam się, jeśli cię bliżej poznać, okazuje się czymś więcej niż tylko efektami dźwiękowymi ze zbiornika. Jeśli to protokoły terminalu Robco, to znaczy, że można je hakować, prawda? Wystarczy 1 sekunda, aby pogwałcić twoje prawa i uczynić swój głos moim. Zaraz, ale... Jeśli to kod terminalu, to się nie martw. Nie mam zamiaru wykorzystywać twojego niechronionego kodu. O mój Boże, nie. Nie. Okej, jestem ponownie w tym momencie. Nie chciałem tego robić. Po prostu chciałem sprawdzić, co z tego będę miał. Jeśli to kod terminalu, to się nie martw. Nie mam zamiaru wykorzystywać twojego niechronionego kodu. To mam problem. Wiem, jakie to uczucie, gdy ktoś na tobie eksperymentuje. A propos mojego przybycia, powiedz mi, że nie zoniakulowałeś do mojego emitera dźwięku. No już musiał istnieć jakiś inny sposób. Możesz mnie następnym razem po prostu chociaż zapytać o zdanie. Skoro już się lepiej poznaliśmy, możesz mi coś opowiedzieć o emiterze dźwięku? Tak, doskonale to rozumiem. Jeśli X? Możesz mi ją pokazać na moim piboju? A więc tam znajduje się twój dom. A więc w twoim domu w wiosce Higgs znajduje się kod do emitera dźwięku. O, 2 kody. Jeden do szafy grającej i drugi do opery. Ładnie. Będę się uważnie rozglądać. Pójdę już. Z tym jest punkt doświadczenia i przepraszam za ten incydent. Swoją drogą, zaznaczył nam wieś Higgs. Czy to jest to, co myślę? To jest tutaj, prawda? Tak. To jest świetnie skonstruowana lokacja.
The lobotomized animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
Zawsze tak dramatyzujesz?
Drama? There is no drama in science. As I learned in high school, science is an intellectual pursuit devoid of bestial emotions. Unless, of course, you are a communist. Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus. As I learned in my high school, American High, AHS, drama is for movies, things of fiction. Here in the think tank, the only star is science.
Kim jesteś? Czym się zajmujesz?
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
Czy kazadory to twoja sprawka?
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation.
Uwiezione w Wielkiej Górze? Przecież te paskudy rozlazły się po całej pustyni Mojave!
No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding.
Skąd wiesz, że nie pouciekały?
Because Big Mountain safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters.
Raczej nie są bezpłodne, dość łatwo się rozmnażają.
I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts.
Nie, w porządku, uwierz mi.
Oh, that's too bad. Perhaps we can perform a sterility castration some other time then.
Chyba nie do końca pojmujesz własne badania.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try.
Podaj mi jeden konkretny fakt. Jeden fakt.
Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us.
Powiedz mi więc coś o Mobiusie i zakazanej strefie.
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying robo-scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed.
Powiedz mi o płocie radarowym wokół krateru.
The radar fence protects us all. If evidence is correct,
The one who built it is me. It keeps anything with a disembodied brain inside, like us. And anything without a brain, also inside. It is the ultimate defense against communist aggression. There'll be no infectious ideas on my watch.
Zaraz, ale to znaczy, że jesteście uwięzieni.
Trapped? Nonsense! We are secure here from evil philosophies. Ever since my anxiety-filled days of powerlessness and being bullied in American high school, I have dreamed of such security as the fence. That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly patrol and kill anyone who wasn't my friend, like Richie Marcus and Betsy
Zero
Bright.
represji innych wspomnień.
Who's laughing now, Betsy? I hope you and Richie are happy smoking in your radioactive coffins. I'm glad you never came to my birthday party.
Ale poza tym miejscem jest cały świat.
No! Beyond is death, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. No matter where these strange humans wander in from with their ideas and new brains, there is nothing beyond Big Mountain.
Czy to nie znaczy, że się mylisz?
Enough! Stop filling my precious brain cell units with irrelevant data. You sound like the other visitors, making wild claims of a world beyond, where there is a war beyond war. It is unproven and unthinkable.
Jacy inni przybysze?
Bother the other doctors with your crackpot theory.
Po co Kleinowi akurat te technologie?
There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the forbidden zone, so be it. Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be nigh unstoppable.
Możesz mi opowiedzieć o Wielkiej Górze?
It is our home. Threatened by the horrors of Mobius. All we wish to do is continue our research, layer upon layer, above and beneath the floor of the crater, until we have our answers. But no, Mobius will not let us rest, scaring us with his scary robots with their laser tails and blowing up all the time.
Z balkonu rozciąga się ciekawy widok. Narobiłeś w tym miejscu strasznego bałaganu.
It was not our first choice of testing grounds, but we no longer have the luxuries of our test cities. Then we lost the mountain. After the explosion, we couldn't find it anymore, so the crater became our testing grounds.
Miasto do testów?
Yes. In the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town, community, or city was just right, we could use that city as a controlled experiment. Vault-Tec was much better at it, of course. We had to make do. Get permission. Sometimes. If only we could have used commie cities. But capturing whole cities was hard, so we captured enough commies to make cities of our own. So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to experiment on. Those were the days. But the true test was science on unsuspecting Americans. Whether it was holograms, new autodocs, toxins, vending machines, we wound them up, let them go into tiny, isolated towns. Then we observed.
Co to był za wybuch?
Boom! Yes, quite unexpected and embarrassing. All better now after the landscaping, though. Much more pleasing to our monitors. And the crater helps keep everything inside, because it is bowl-shaped.
Mam inne pytania.
Submit your question.
Nieważne, dość tej rozmowy.
Until next time, then.
Okej, ciebie nie lubię. Nie przepraszam. Chociaż... Bez przesady nie jest tak, że my zawsze... Zaraz, a nie, to jest jeszcze ten.
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and proud as a teddy bear. Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination.
Bystry skryba przeskoczył leniwego paladyna?
Yes, yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue? Like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's mouthal cavity.
Wydaje mi się, że masz nieco większe potrzeby biologiczne niż twoi koledzy.
What? Nonsense.
Zamknij oczy, odetchnij głęboko i przyciągnij się o spale.
What? What are you doing?
Odwróć się, mocno kaszlnij i powoli podrap się po nosie.
Stop it. Why? Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography?
Przyciągnij dłońmi wzdłuż boków twarzy i zrób szybki wydech.
Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue.
Czemu się temu nie poddasz? Nie ma nic złego w patrzeniu na ludzkie ciało.
Perhaps there is value in what you say. I did so enjoy breathing once, long ago.
Jeśli zechcesz, mogę zawsze wrócić i po prostu pooddychać.
Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my gel might run over. If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Slowly. Woo. Woo. Purple, purple, woo. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Purple. Ba, ba, bloop. Ba, ba, bloop. Ba, ba, bloop. Whew. Last little bit there. Thank you, lobotomite. Please, you must come back for further study when I've had a rest. I'm a little sensitive right now.
Kim jesteś? Czym się zajmujesz?
Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and advanced curiosity. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science.
211 doktoratów? Jak to w ogóle możliwe?
Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned.
Mam inne pytania.
Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of...
Możesz mi powiedzieć o Wielkiej Górze?
This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see, no matter what your questions.
Nie, bez przesady. Pytania? To znaczy?
Previous test subjects who have come here have had many questions for us. We answered them with science, fire, and termination.
Dlaczego usunąłeś mi mózg? I w jaki sposób?
Oh, removing it is a simple procedure. Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip, done. The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. Lobotomites. With you, however, something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized. I am relieved the pacification field is working. If it didn't, I would broadcast some concern to my colleagues about safety protocols.
Ale czemu wciąż chodzić rozmawiać?
That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart. If you were to somehow find your brain, wherever it sloped off to, you could humanically reduce yourself again.
Wystarczy tej rozmowy.
Until our next interaction.
Tak, nie musimy pytać te same rzeczy. Spaliśmy już 3 osoby.
Stop hovering. I mean, if you want. Breaking news! Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose unknown, undefinable. Its presence here impossible.
Jesteś doktor O, nie mylę się?
Oh? Oh, yes. I'm not going to bother correcting you. At least you got the doctor part correct. I can be grateful for that, at least. Stop the presses! Just in from my eye monitors. Is that Rob Kotek on your arm? It is! What's your agenda bringing that in here?
Nie mam żadnych ukrytych motywów. W każdym razie nie są związane z Robko.
Oh, really? You have their tech on your arm. How dare you bring Rob Kotek in here? What are you showing off? How great Robert House and his big company are?
Oh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain could make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Ugh. Damn Robco.
Pewnie nie zmartwi cię, jeśli powiem, co planował zrobić House przy pomocy swoich robotów.
Worry about House? Why would I do this? Hope he died alone in a dingy room, streaming his last remaining bodily fluids into jars. And him and his dirty girdle bots. Don't even get me started on those filthy biological catcher's mitts.
Uspokój się, chcę tylko porozmawiać.
Fine. Ask.
Podobno ciebie i 8 zaatakowali wcześniej przybysze.
I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm.
Powiedz, co się stało.
This human, I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up laser gun like they were cheese paper. When he hacked into the mainframe, A tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He rerouted my processors to take control of the train network here. If you see the tunnels with the trains plowed into them, you can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now, but...
Kim byli ci inni?
2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up. Thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him, then let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing.
Dobra, koniec tej rozmowy.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception.
Okej. Czy z Kleinem porozmawiajmy? Ale poczekajcie moment. Okej.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet?
A, też widzieliśmy. Podobno rozmawiał z tobą ostatni przybysz i zadawał sporo pytań.
Oh yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left us some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
To na razie tyle. Dzięki.
Yes, a most goodbye.
Nie zdradzając więcej, to był kurier, którego spotkaliśmy już w pierwszym DLC, czy no w sumie w ostatnim, ale przeze mnie, które przedem pierwszy jest z kolejności, nie tej samej. Bo wszystkie są ustawione tak, że najpierw je wykonać, a ostatni będzie z tym Ulyssesem. Tak Ulysses się nazywał. Jak to nie?
Salutations and felicitations, sir, and a most jocund welcome to the sink. I am your electronic valet and household central processor. May I be of service, sir?
To źle przeczytałem. Jesteś czymś w rodzaju sztucznej inteligencji.
Regrettably not, sir. All modules inhabit outer synthetic personalities atop a mundane operating system. There is no intelligence here, sir.
Chcesz powiedzieć, że są tu jeszcze inne moduły osobowościowe?
Indeed, sir. Though if sir's aim is to activate them, I lament to inform, sir, that most have been offline for some years. If sir were to ask my opinion, I should venture that sir is better off without them. However, if sir is determined to inflict upon sir's self their dubious services, sir might locate backup personality disks elsewhere in the facility.
Mogą uzyskać dostęp do ich funkcji bez ładowania ich holotaśm osobowościowych?
Tragically, the core operating systems are also located on the personality tapes, sir. Once the tape is installed, sir may request I switch their dialectic interfaces off, and I shall oblige with great delectation. However, sir will still be required to locate and install a backup holotape to access their functionality.
Dlaczego istnieje tyle modułów osobowościowych?
As I am given to understand, sir, this facility was once the property of a Dr. Mobius. He crafted the personality modules as part of a collection of experiments on the subject of machine-human interface. As to the reason for the unusual choices of devices to receive the modules, I cannot say.
Nieważne, zapytam coś innego.
Indubitably, sir.
Jakie usługi świadczysz?
In addition to managing the personality matrices of the other household utilities, I can provide Sir with direct access to the commissary. Any goods Sir might require may be purchased through my shopkeep interface, whence tiny robots shall deliver them forthwith to this very domicile.
Chcę coś naprawić. Karabin ślipski. Niech będzie grosze, ale... Muszę naprawić zbroi? Okej, spoko. Chyba nie za bardzo muszę się jakoś kwapić, żeby cokolwiek naprawiać. Na razie miłośnie nawet też naprawimy. Cyberpies. Nie dziękuję. Sakwoja naprawimy. I tyle tego będzie. I na razie muszę kończyć nagrywanie. Dlatego zobaczymy się dopiero w następnej. Jeśli ktoś, komu się nie podoba ten odcinek, to dam odnotację na samym początku i opis, żeby ominął ten odcinek, jeśli nie podoba mu się gadanie, bo dopiero w następnym zacznie się normalnie jakaś akcja i eksploracja. Ale chciałem po prostu porozmawiać ze wszystkimi po kolei, żeby zdobyć jakieś informacje i wiedzę na temat całego miejsca, ich jakby historii i tak dalej. Tak czy inaczej, wielkie dzięki za oglądanie, do zobaczenia w następnych filmach. Siemanko!